The liver can fail without a single warning sign, and when it does, life can unravel in days. It begins quietly with fatigue, swelling, or foggy memory, and then suddenly a doctor delivers the words no one is ready to hear: your liver is failing. For many older adults, this comes as a devastating shock because they lived carefully, drank rarely, and ate modestly, yet a hidden daily assault had been destroying their liver all along. The story does not have to end in decline. The liver is one of the most resilient organs in the human body, capable of renewing itself even after years of hidden stress. Studies from Harvard and Tokyo University show that when given the right rhythm of rest, nourishment, and gentle care, it can grow new healthy cells and restore balance. Decline is not destiny, because even modest changes in daily habits can be enough to bring back strength, energy, and more years of independence. The most dangerous part is that the habit destroying so many livers is almost never recognized until it is too late. If it is overlooked, no special diet, no supplement, and no doctor's visit can undo the damage once the liver begins to shut down. Keep watching now, because in just a moment I will reveal this hidden danger and the two protective steps that could mean the difference between years of strength or a sudden, devastating collapse. I am Dr. Suzuki Sato, Japan's oldest nutritionist. For over a century, I have studied how aging bodies respond to food, rest, and rhythm. Have you ever been surprised by a sudden shift in your liver tests despite living carefully? Share your experience in the comments. We all learn from each other. Today, we will walk together through the hidden risk, the science that explains it, and the daily protections that fit every body. This is the journey that may help keep your liver strong enough to carry you through the years ahead. Most people believe liver damage comes only from alcohol or perhaps from heavy foods cooked in oil. That story has been repeated for so long that it feels unquestionable. Yet when we look carefully at older adults in hospitals and clinics, we often find something very different. Many who rarely drink, who keep modest diets, still develop liver scarring, fatty buildup, or elevated enzymes that weaken their health. The truth is that after 60, the liver becomes vulnerable in ways that have little to do with the glass in your hand or the plate on your table. Doctors in the United States and researchers in Japan both notice the same pattern. Seniors who live quietly, eat balanced meals, and avoid alcohol still face rising rates of what is called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It may sound complex, but it means fat collects in the liver cells even without alcohol. Why would this happen to people who think they are living clean? Because the liver is deeply tied not only to food, but to daily rhythms, sleep, movement, medication, stress, and even hydration. When those patterns become unsteady with age, the liver takes the burden. Imagine someone in their 70s who enjoys simple home meals and hardly ever drinks. Yet over time, fatigue grows. There is less motivation to walk outside. Sleep becomes light with many interruptions. Blood tests begin to show small changes in liver enzymes. Nothing feels urgent, so the changes are dismissed as just aging. Months later, the same person notices swelling in the ankles and struggles with concentration. These are not caused by alcohol. They are signs the liver's resilience has been chipped away by daily strain. Pay close attention here. The most dangerous problems are not always the loud ones. A glass of wine at a holiday dinner is obvious, but the silent habits that erode liver strength can pass unseen. And because they are silent, they are often ignored until it is late. What makes this especially important after 60 is that the liver's blood flow naturally slows with age. That means even ordinary tasks, breaking down a tablet of medicine, storing sugar for later, balancing hormones, require more effort. If we add hidden stresses like irregular sleep, long stretches without moving, or stacking medications without realizing, the system overloads. It does not cry out with pain. It quietly stiffens, hardens, and weakens, leaving us feeling tired and older than we are. Have you ever looked back at a period in life when you were not eating badly, yet you still felt exhausted and heavy in your body? Many people discover later that this was the liver struggling under the surface. Share if you've noticed this. Your insight might guide another viewer who feels the same way right now. There is hope in this story because the liver is generous. Unlike many organs, it has the ability to regenerate new tissue if the burden is lifted. This is why studies in both Tokyo and Boston show seniors who adjust simple habits like sleep routine, light daily activity, or careful timing of medicines often see their liver tests improve without extreme diets or strict restrictions. The body responds to kindness even late in life. Here is something worth hearing twice. Food and drink are only part of the story. The greater challenge for the aging liver is rhythm. When sleep is broken, when movement fades, when medications pile up without oversight, the liver never gets the pause it needs to repair. When rhythm is restored, even gently, health often improves in surprising ways. As we move forward, hold on to this new picture. Liver decline is not only about what you consume, it is about how your daily patterns either give your liver breathing space or drown it in constant work. Once we understand that, the path to protecting it becomes far more realistic and far more hopeful. The liver does its hardest work when the body rests. While we sleep, it clears the bloodstream, balances hormones, and prepares energy for the next day. But what happens when sleep is broken, delayed, or too short? The repair window shrinks and the liver cannot complete its nightly cycle. This is not about one bad night. It is about a repeated pattern, going to bed too late, waking often, or falling into restless naps instead of deep rest. Over weeks and months, that pattern can be more harmful to the liver than a holiday toast. Researchers in Japan have shown that seniors who sleep fewer than 6 hours most nights face a higher risk of fatty liver disease, even if they do not drink alcohol. Harvard clinicians see the same in older adults whose circadian rhythms are disrupted, meaning their body clock is not in sync with the day-night cycle. The liver is deeply tied to that clock. If light, meals, or medications confuse the rhythm, enzymes that should repair may misfire, and fat may build up in the wrong places. Think of the liver as a quiet housekeeper. During the night, it cleans every room, folds away the clutter, and resets the space. If you cut its shift in half, the mess piles up. By the end of the week, no matter how good your meals were, the house looks unkempt. That is how irregular sleep chips away at liver strength. Pay closer attention here, because this is where many people miss the turning point. They focus on diet changes, yet overlook the nightly repair window. Without that repair, even the best diet cannot protect the liver fully. This does not mean you need to sleep like a teenager again. It means shaping evenings so your body clock feels safe enough to rest. Gentle steps can help. Dimming lights after sunset reminds your brain that the day is ending. Choosing lighter, earlier dinners eases the digestive load so the liver can shift into repair instead of heavy processing. Even a short walk after the evening meal helps set the rhythm. These are not strict rules. They are gentle nudges. Have you ever noticed how one good night of sleep leaves you feeling lighter, clearer, even younger the next morning? That is the liver at work, finishing its shift, leaving you with fresh energy. Share in the comments if a single night of deep rest has ever surprised you with how much better you felt the next day. There are exceptions to keep in mind. Some people take medications at night that disturb sleep. Others care for a partner who wakes often, and rest is not fully under their control. For these situations, the solution is not guilt. The solution is to give the body other signals of rhythm: morning sunlight on the face, a warm cup of non-caffeinated tea in the evening, a short breathing exercise before bed. Even if sleep is imperfect, these cues guide the body clock and support the liver's timing. Only a small number of viewers here are subscribed. If these insights are helping you understand your health in a new way, subscribing allows us to keep bringing this kind of practical, caring information each week. One more detail makes this barrier worth respecting. Studies in both America and Japan show that people who eat late at night, especially close to midnight, have livers that struggle more with fat buildup and hormone balance. It is not only what is eaten, but when. Shifting the final meal earlier gives the liver a head start on its nightly repairs. When we think of liver health, food and drink may come first to mind, yet the body tells a different story. The liver depends most of all on rhythm, the chance to work in darkness, in rest, without interruption. And when we protect that rhythm even gently, the liver rewards us with more strength, more clarity, and more years of independence. The time has come to reveal the two habits that protect the liver more effectively than complicated diets or expensive supplements. They are simple, but they carry weight because they work with the body's natural design. The first is keeping a steady daily rhythm, especially sleep and meal timing. The second is gentle daily movement that can be done by nearly anyone, even while sitting in a chair. Let us begin with rhythm. The liver has its own clock. It expects energy during the day and rest at night. When you keep a steady bedtime and rise at roughly the same hour, you give the liver the signal to perform its full cycle. Research in both Tokyo and Boston has confirmed that older adults with regular sleep and earlier evening meals show lower rates of fatty liver disease compared to those who eat late or fall asleep at irregular times. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Even moving dinner 1 hour earlier and turning off bright screens before bed can lighten the liver's workload. Here's a detail that is easy to overlook but worth repeating. The liver clears fat most efficiently in the early part of the night. If the body is still digesting a heavy late meal, repair is delayed and the clutter builds. Simply finishing the last meal earlier in the evening, even if it is modest, can restore that repair window. It is not the portion size alone, it is the timing that matters just as much. Now let us look at movement. Many imagine liver health requires strenuous exercise, but the science tells us otherwise. Harvard researchers found that even light activity, such as slow walking, gardening, or seated stretching, improves insulin sensitivity and reduces fat buildup in the liver. In Japan, older adults who practice daily radiocalisthenics, a short routine of gentle stretches and steps, showed healthier liver function over time. The magic is not intensity, it is consistency. Imagine the liver as a sponge. Movement squeezes it gently, allowing blood to circulate and toxins to flow out more freely. Without that squeeze, fluids stagnate and fat begins to stick. Even 5 to 10 minutes of movement after meals has been shown to reduce the spike in blood sugar that strains the liver. That means the walk to the mailbox, the sweep of a floor, or the slow stretch of arms and legs in a chair are not trivial. They are medicine. Have you ever noticed how even a short walk clears your head and lightens your body? That is not only the muscles working, it is the liver being relieved of excess sugar and fat. Share in the comments if you have a favorite small activity that helps you feel more alive. Your example might inspire someone else to begin today. Here's a moment to lean in closely. These two habits, rhythm and movement, work together. Sleep without movement leaves sugar unused. Movement without rest leaves repairs unfinished. But combined, they allow the liver to cycle fully, burning, clearing, and renewing. When seniors apply both, studies show sharper memory, steadier energy, and lower risk of chronic illness. Only a fraction of viewers here are subscribed. If these teachings are valuable, subscribing ensures you will not miss future habits that protect health in ways most doctors never explain in the clinic. The best part of these two habits is that they adjust to everybody. If you cannot walk easily, a few minutes of arm circles or seated marching still helps. If you find it hard to sleep deeply, guiding your rhythm with consistent meal times and morning light still supports repair. There is always a doorway open, and when the liver feels supported, it pays you back with clarity, energy, and more years of independence. Everybody is unique, and when it comes to protecting the liver, one rule will never fit everyone. What works smoothly for one person may need adjustment for another, especially when medications and chronic conditions are part of daily life. This is where wisdom matters, because respecting the exceptions is what keeps protection safe. Some people live with diabetes or kidney problems. For them, meal timing and hydration may need extra care. An earlier dinner helps the liver, but it must also keep blood sugar steady through the night. That is why a small protein-rich snack, such as yogurt, tofu, or a boiled egg, can be better than skipping food altogether. The goal is to give the liver less to process while still keeping the rest of the body comfortable. For those with kidney disease, protein and fluid advice will differ, so guidance from a trusted clinician is essential. There are also medications that lean heavily on the liver. Statins, anti-seizure drugs, and certain antibiotics must be broken down daily. For someone on these treatments, the liver cannot afford extra hidden stress. This makes gentle habits, like steady movement and protecting sleep rhythm, even more important. And it means regular blood work is not a burden, but a safeguard, showing the liver's response before symptoms ever appear. Pay close attention here, because this detail could change how you approach your next doctor's visit. Many people think of liver blood tests as punishment for past habits. In reality, they are a window into how your liver is coping today. If numbers are shifting, it is not too late. It is an invitation to adjust rhythm, review medicines, and restore balance before serious damage sets in. Let us also talk about cultural practices. In Japan, green tea is enjoyed daily, often several times a day. Brewed tea, taken in moderation, is usually supportive, but highly concentrated extracts in capsules have, in rare cases, injured livers. In America, natural supplements like kava or high-dose green tea pills are sometimes marketed as safe simply because they are plant-based. The liver does not see labels, it only sees chemistry. Respecting plants means respecting dose and form. A warm cup shared at the table is different from a concentrated capsule swallowed alone. Here's a truth worth repeating twice. Natural does not always mean harmless. If you love a traditional remedy, let it be part of your rhythm, but let your clinician know. That way, your liver is never caught between two well-meaning choices that accidentally collide. I want to share a small story that reflects this. A retired gardener in his 70s began taking a liver support supplement he saw advertised. He already enjoyed 2 cups of green tea each morning. At first he felt fine, but after 2 months his blood tests showed irritation in the liver. His doctor asked him to pause the supplement, and within weeks his numbers calmed down. He did not need to abandon tea altogether, only the concentrated pills. This simple adjustment spared him from a much greater problem. Don't drift now, because this next point brings the whole picture together. The liver does not need extreme sacrifices. It needs small, thoughtful adjustments that fit your real life. For one person, that might be an earlier bedtime. For another, it might be lowering the number of pills on the nightstand. For another, it might be choosing brewed tea over capsules. Each path is different, but the destination is the same. A liver that feels supported instead of strained. And if you've ever made a small change, like walking after dinner or switching the timing of a medicine, and noticed your energy improve, share it in the comments. Your story may encourage someone who feels too late to begin. The lesson here is gentle but powerful. Exceptions do not block the path to health. They simply remind us to walk with more care, guided by our own body's needs. And when that care is given, the liver responds with gratitude, renewing itself day by day. By now, you have seen that the liver is not only shaped by what we eat or drink, but by the rhythm of how we live. This can sound overwhelming at first. Sleep, meals, movement, medicines, traditions. But the truth is simpler. The liver thrives when life flows in a steady pattern, with moments of work balanced by moments of rest. Protecting it is less about drastic change and more about weaving small, steady threads through each day. Picture a day where the first light touches your face as you open the window in the morning. That gentle sunlight tells the body clock it is time to wake, which means by evening it will also know when to rest. Breakfast does not need to be heavy. Even something modest with a little protein begins the day by refueling the liver's reserves. Through the morning, light activity, watering plants, walking to the shop, even moving arms and legs while seated, keeps the blood circulating so the liver does not store more fat than it should. At midday, a balanced meal gives steady energy. By afternoon, a short stroll or simple stretches after eating help reduce the sugar load that would otherwise end up in the liver. Dinner comes earlier, lighter, leaving space for the liver to shift into repair mode once the evening darkens. A calm routine follows: soft lights, warm tea without caffeine, a favorite book or conversation, guiding the body toward rest. The liver then takes the night shift, cleaning, repairing, and preparing you for tomorrow. Pay attention here because this is the point where good intentions become lasting habits. Many people try to do everything at once and then feel defeated, but the liver does not need perfection, it needs rhythm. Even choosing just one anchor, like keeping dinner earlier or committing to a short evening walk, creates a signal the liver can trust. Over weeks, these signals build into a pattern and the organ begins to respond. Fat clears more easily, energy feels steadier, and independence lasts longer. Have you ever noticed how even the smallest new habit can change the tone of a whole day? A single glass of water on waking can shift digestion. A 5-minute walk can ease the stiffness of hours. A half-hour earlier bedtime can brighten the next morning. Share in the comments which small step you will try first. Your choice, however modest, may help another person decide they can begin too. Only a fraction of those watching are subscribed. If these steps are giving you clarity and hope, subscribing makes sure this knowledge keeps reaching your home every week. Here's a thought worth carrying. The liver is patient. It forgives years of neglect if the present moment is kind. Research shows that even seniors with long-standing fatty liver can improve when daily rhythm is restored. That means no one is too late and no effort is wasted. Every small step, whether it is sipping water before medicine, choosing to walk after lunch, or dimming lights in the evening, adds up to protection. This is why your daily plan matters more than grand promises. The path to liver health is not lined with rare herbs or rigid diets. It is built with ordinary choices repeated steadily. Each one is a thread, and together they weave a net strong enough to carry you through the years ahead. Tell us what you are beginning with today. Is it an earlier dinner, a short walk, or the courage to show all your bottles to the pharmacist? Every answer adds to our shared wisdom, and every answer shows that protecting the liver is not only possible, it is within reach right now. We have walked together through a truth that surprises many. The greatest threat to the liver in later years is not always alcohol, and it is not always heavy foods. More often, it is the quiet erosion of rhythm, irregular sleep, late meals, hidden medication overload that slowly wears down the organ that protects us every hour of the day. There is hope in this story. Science from both Japan and the United States shows that the liver is one of the few organs with the power to regenerate. Even after years of stress, it can grow new healthy tissue if the burden is lifted. That means decline is not a sentence. It is a signal. And the signal tells us that restoring daily rhythm, moving a little each day, and supporting the body with rest can bring real repair. Pay attention here, because this is the message worth carrying into tomorrow. Small steps count more than perfect plans. One earlier dinner, one short evening walk, one night of gentler sleep. Each is a thread, and together they weave the net that holds your independence strong. Tell us in the comments which single step you will try first, and share one insight that surprised you most. These conversations are how our community grows stronger, and they remind each of us that we are not walking alone. If you have not yet subscribed, consider it now. Only a small number of our viewers are, and subscribing is how we continue to bring you these science-backed habits each week. The liver protects you every moment. Protect it in return, restore its rhythm, and it will restore your strength. A steady liver means a steady life, and more years to live them on your own terms.